In order to facilitate access to affordable and decent housing to Benin citizens, the government of President Boniayi has launched a program of 10,000 affordable lodgings to benefit low-income households in several municipalities. Currently, over 1,600 applications were received by AFH, the Land Agency for Housing, which is under the authority of the Ministry of Planning, Housing and Sanitation. Its mission, among other things, consists in controlling the execution of works and monitoring housing-related marketing. With time, the Land Agency for Housing shall make available affordable housing to employees of public or private organizations and to Benin citizens living outside the country. These units are of three types, namely F2, F3, and F4. They have different characteristics depending on the size and compartments. Access to the houses requires specific conditions. Eligibility criteria go as follows: not owning a home over the territory, being a national of Benin, being an employee of the public or private sector, being able to make the 25% initial contribution out of the purchase cost. There are three essential documents to provide: a personal information form duly completed and signed, the birth certificate or court judgment, and the certificate of citizenship.
Tout Béninois rêve à avoir son propre bâtiment. Et on est souvent face à des problèmes de sécurisation. Les problèmes ont été tels qu'on a vu que ce sont des bas-fonds et parfois des
In Benin,
zones,
each Beninese dreams of having his own home. Unfortunately, people are often faced with security problems. Without the support of the state, many do not have the ability to build. The government of Thomas Boniayi, by creating the Land Agency Habitat in 2008, seems to have found the solution. A total of 10,000 homes were planned. The construction was to be sequentially 5,000. But we did not count with difficulties related to the real estate and construction sectors. Actually, in this program, which is a program, a typical example of public-private partnership, the real role of government, the land agency performs is servicing and provision of land and lands. It is in this sense that close collaboration was established with the municipalities. It is a program that must run throughout the national territory. We first started with areas of high housing demands. It is useless to build housing without being able to occupy them.
Sur toute l'étendue du territoire. Et nous avons, dans ce programme, démarré avec les zones à forte demande de logement. Il ne sert à rien de construire sans pouvoir les occuper.
Housing already built is subject to high interest. On the site of Zopa, in the town of Abomey-Calavi, 100 housings out of the 150 units built are already occupied. Meanwhile, the 1,000 homes designed in Wedo, still in Abomey-Calavi, have already been completed, just as the 500 lodgings in Porto Novo and Parakou, and the 100 in the commune of Lokosa. The communes of Semepoji, Adjara, and Avrankou were also provided with such facilities. In short, all localities have been taken into account. On-site, the initiative has led to the viability of areas, installation of water supply systems, electricity poles facilities resulting in energy for the population, and the building of many public squares. As much surprising as it might be, this program has contributed in reducing the usually constant land-related problems. Land security is guaranteed.
I admit it is a relief. We are really at ease. we lack nothing, but neighborhood problems are downright non-existent. We have electricity and water. So initially on this site, it goes beyond date in terms of occupants, the dozen. However, we do not know the problem of insecurity.
This is a great advantage that results in a rush for these lodgings. But based on a relatively average purchasing power, the Land Agency for Housing intends on establishing, with the government's approval, a leasing system. This will identify all workers willing to purchase these homes and take them out of the renting system.
Au départ, le mécanisme financier n'avait pas permis.
Initially, the financial mechanism was such that many Beninese were not eligible despite their desire to have access to housing. But as of today, with the approval of the government, we are in the process of leasing. We have just tabled the first records of those eligible for leasing. The records were all accepted. At the end of the procedure, the occupant becomes actual owner with a land title. The state has its workers exempt from the registration fee, which normally amount to 8.5%. With regard to formalities, since nobody controls his life, if not God, it is required, I repeat, it is required that those who are going to hire purchase taking out insurance. They need life insurance, job loss insurance, as it is also for people who work in the private sector. Then, another insurance for which people are not used, it is the comprehensive insurance. The comprehensive insurance covers the owner of all hazards throughout the duration of the contract.
Couvre le propriétaire sur toute la durée de tous les aléas.
Logically, they would stop renting, which would allow them to recover everything they were spending on their rent. In this program, the state has already invested more than 5.6 billion CFA in subsidy, apart from financial expenses that revolve around 4 billion CFA. Given the craze for the lodgings, the agency is foreseeing the construction of average range F3 and F4 villas and of duplex type F4 and F5.
Pour la deuxième phase, nous sommes face à une
For the second phase, we are facing a proposal where the funding will be made by partners who will intervene directly and give the product. The role of Land Habitat Agency is to ensure the availability of serviced land, but also to ensure the customer. It is precisely this work that we are doing by following the census. We want to start initiating the condominium. We want to make semi-collective builds high to allow workers to be close to their workplace. We have projects for the city of Kani, Djougou, and Nadidengu. Compared to all this, studies are being conducted, very advanced studies. The developer of Commit will come with its resources. But the cost of this building are defined, taking into account our ability. And particularity is that the architecture will adapt to the environment of the zones. Compared to this, we have invited all the people that are interested in the project beginning to register, because there will be no homes if we do not have.
Il n'y aura pas de construction si nous ne savons pas ceux qui vont habiter.